Adam Sanchez. I'm a chief steward with ILW Local 5. I'm a new member of the Transit Writers Union. I want to start by saying I think that all these cuts should not happen, and I think what they simply are an attack on working people and low-income people. In the last 35 years, GDP doubled from 20,000 to 40,000, and workers' wages declined. So as the economy doubled, workers did not participate in that gain, and now we're being asked to share the sacrifice. Workers, and I think this is a one microcosm of that, right? Because low-income workers have no other way to get around to the city, simply, the poor and low-income workers. Not to mention, I think this is also an attack on the environment in the midst of one of the biggest environmental crises the world has ever faced. So I think that's the first thing to say. And the second thing to say is that I think, obviously, in the midst of the biggest economic crisis since the Great Depression, it's ridiculous that TRIMET is funded through payroll taxes, as unemployment numbers are going to climb and climb and climb. So we have to come up with some other solutions. The Oregon Center for Public Policy just put out a new report that said if we just raise Oregon's business taxes to the level that other states already are at, we would not only not have a budget deficit, but we would have a surplus. And I think we need to be putting that solution forward. And that solution, I think the Transit Writers Union is obviously putting forward. And I want to put out to the TRIMET officials who are here today, we don't have to fight against you. I think it's your choice. If you choose not to fight for that alternative, then unfortunately, and cut services, I think unfortunately we will be fighting against you. But if you join us, you will have the backing of the people in this fight. And so I really want to impart to you that I think you should join us in this fight, because I know it's not just your fault. It's a much larger problem, and you should join with us to fight against these cuts. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about the cuts to the west side of town, Hillsborough, Beaverton area. I commute to and from church, to and from the gym and the library, and even though those might be trivial, it's very important to me and to other people on the west side that they have their service. And cutting the weekends on the 47, 48, and 59, even though they might be lightly attended bus routes, is immobilizing to a whole stretch of community as well as the 89. It just seems like all the major churches in the area are having their bus services cut, so people can't get there on a Sunday morning or late on if they have to go to a meeting that goes from 7 to 9, they only have a couple minutes to catch a bus to get to where they need to go to a transit center before the service is cut. And so I'm just concerned that by doing this, you leave people stranded, you leave the community open to just harder times. Basically, you help the elderly or those who can't get around by bus. I use the lift too, but the bus is my first choice so that I can get around easier, and you're going to create a huge problem for those who would like to use the bus system but can't because of the way that you are cutting all the services. And I feel like, as many have said today, there's other alternatives that you can choose to use in order to save people from having to make the cuts. And I just hope and pray that you consider the changes and how they are affecting people's lives. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm Judy Ranton, R-A-N-T-O-N, and I'm another potentially disenfranchised Selwood transit rider. It was very nice of you when the 40 was, not allowed to go to Selwood Bridge anymore, to give us the 41 for a few hours to get to work and to get home from work. But now you're thinking about cutting it. That means there's a whole bunch of people sitting between Bybee and Milwaukee and the river and 99 with no direct bus service. to downtown, and I'm 4.6 miles from my house to this building where I work. And if the 41 is cut, it's already bad enough in the middle of the day. I can't get home without at least allowing 45 minutes or longer to get home on multiple buses, or one bus and walk a distance. But now, it's going to take me roughly 45 minutes every morning to get to work also, and then to get home again without a direct bus service. And for an area like Selwood, I mean, that's a huge part of our community, of the Portland community, and I don't know any other part of town where, and I'm, forgive me because I'm sort of transit, I'm ignorant about the rest of the city, where you don't have a direct route to downtown. And it just seems to me that it would be really important for you to maintain at least something for us to get downtown in a reasonable amount of time, since we live so close. And many of us have been true blue transit riders for years. And on this, the weekend cuts for the 19 and the 70, I mean, you're going to put people back in the cars for entertainment purposes when they go out on Saturdays and Sundays. To have to catch a bus by 10:30 or whenever the last bus is going to run is, pretty much going to put us back in our cars. And I think the same is going to be true if you cancel the 41. We'll at least have to drive somewhere, park, and then take a more efficient route into town as opposed to taking multiple buses to town. And I was hoping that when you're done with this process, with the comments that people have made, because I've heard at least 3 people talk about the 41 today, that you're going to tell us why you canceled that bus, why you heard from so many people that really would like to still ride it, because I'm not sure. I mean, I'm pretty sure other people have been talking to you about the 41 also. And I'd like it to be pretty transparent about why these cuts are being made when the populace has been coming to you and talking to you about why it shouldn't be, and that you should think of alternative ways to fund and to maybe do, like I heard somebody else say earlier, maybe the 70 could run downtown during the morning hours and the evening hours coming home from work. And then thank you for not canceling the 33 on Fremont, because I don't know how my grandson would have got to school, because he rides the 33 to Beaumont every day, and I don't know how that would happen. Thanks.